I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You know what time it is when you see that title. Either a brand is on its way to closing its doors or a brand has closed its doors. So if you guys want to know more about what is going on with Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, let's go. So if you're new to my channel, this is the first video of this kind that you are seeing from me. My downfall series is either me peeping that certain brands have fallen off or they're on their way to falling off, and kind of analyzing, going over, you know, their highs, where they went low, and if there is time to fix it, what they could do to fix it. And as you see, the latest is Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. If you are not aware of the brand, you don't follow the creator, which, relax, before anyone jumps there, we're gonna get through all that in this video. Then you probably don't know who Jaclyn Hill is, and if you don't, then you are either very young or you are just very new to this online beauty community space. Jaclyn Hill is one of the most influential beauty influencers that has existed in this online beauty space. One of the pioneers, one of the founders, especially like back in the day when there weren't that many, you know, deeper complexion influencers for deeper complexions to look at. She was also one of the ones that they had to go to because, you know, no one looked like you, so you had to watch someone if you wanted to learn how to do an eyeliner, how to do this, how to do that, right? The sun is gonna play with me this entire video, but she was one of the first few, you know, showing my MAC collection, my MAC lipsticks. A lot of it was very MAC based, I believe. She worked there, but you know, the whole tutorial thing, all of that, one of the first few to go very mainstream with it, you know, make this a job type thing. So, you know, her influence started years ago, literally over a decade ago, and it has stayed strong with her. But if you have followed this journey and you know who Jaclyn Hill is, then you know with that influence comes Jaclyn Hill being one of the most controversial beauty influencers that has existed in this space. So when it came time for her to, you know, create a business, with the amount of influence that she had and the fact that, you know, there was a time where it was like every big beauty influencer was creating a beauty brand, it would make the most sense for Jaclyn Hill to have her own beauty cosmetic line. But if you have been following along on this journey, then you know that, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not gonna say that, but you knew there was going to be some pushback, there was gonna be some trouble. There was no way she was going to have a, you know, solid launch and everything just goes well, because it seems as if almost nothing has gone well when it comes to Jaclyn Hill launching something. And she got her first, you know, taste of being a business owner and making products out there for people to like, because she was such a big influencer. She has had several brand collaborations, and it's almost as if every single one had an issue. You know, she collaborated with Becca. You know, there came about problems with the highlighters and stuff like that. She collaborated with Morphe several times, and I think we all remember the Jaclyn Hill palette fiasco. The smaller ones, the bigger one had an issue as well. That's what I'm saying. Literally, like every launch that she had some type of problem. But then, you know, came those mini palettes that were kind of like little bite sizes of the big palettes, and the people. A study has to be done when it comes to Jaclyn Hill and her launches, because the amount of investment that people put in to her launches and the way everyone becomes a scientist, everyone becomes a Spectre Gadget, everyone becomes this, that, and third when it comes to, you know, people were looking down serial numbers to decide if this is what's causing this or if that's what's causing this, just to still continue to purchase Jaclyn Hill products. Like, a study has to be done on her influence because it's there. You can't deny that it's there, but it's a very special relationship that she has with the people who support her, and the people who don't support her but support her by supporting her and watching her and continuing to buy her stuff even though they don't like her. But anyway, she never really had a launch that went well, and for the people that did support her, it was always kind of, oh, well, you know, like, it's not her company. You know, she's kind of like just the face of it. She's giving her ideas on how she wants it to look, stuff like that. But she's not in charge of, you know, finding a manufacturer, of, you know, product control of this, that, and the third. And the people who don't like her are like, okay, but you're still attaching your name to it. Like, you still need to make sure that this is a product that you are proud of attaching your name to, stuff like that, right? So she had several instances to kind of, you know, get her toes wet a little bit to know what it was going to be like to own a brand. And yet, when she was actually launching Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, that might be One of the worst launches I have ever seen while in this beauty community space. And that it goes back to the whole like, you had time to prepare for this. Like you've seen where other brands, even if you're gonna use that, you know, excuse of, oh, well, it's not her brand, so it was the brand's, you know, fault for not having quality control, stuff like that. But like you had that experience there to kind of get it together, and this was something that was in making for the years, right? Every time there's a brand collaboration coming out, people are like, oh, you know, this took 2 years, this took Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics took literally years to launch, and that kind of goes into the issue with what happened with Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. So if you guys do not know, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics launched, and they launched with a lipstick line. And again, like I'm saying, the dedication that comes when it comes to investigating the things that go wrong with Jaclyn Hill launches needs to be studied. But she launched this lipstick line, and almost immediately it was just like, absolutely not. Like, who told you to put this out? I saw everything from they had mold to they had like metal pieces in it that were cutting people's lips. Just everything was wrong with these lipsticks, right? And of course, as the owner, she had to come out, and there were so many different explanations on why the things were wrong. One of them being, well, one of the, I don't believe she said it, but I think one of the like conspiracy, or, you know, one of the reasons given on social media is that the products were sitting in warehouses for years because it was a brand she had meant to launch for years. And, you know, just from sitting in boxes and moisture and all that stuff, that's why stuff was moldy. That's why stuff was expired. So she was basically selling expired lipstick, allegedly. Again, like I'm saying, that's what people were saying is one of the reasons why. And when I tell you, like, every day it was something new. Every day it was someone who was cutting into lipstick. It was someone who had, you know, an allergic reaction, someone who actually got cut from one of the pieces in their lips. So much so that, you know, they even talked about, and I'm not sure if they didn't actually go ahead and do it, starting a class action lawsuit over these lipsticks. And, you know, just, it was literally, you literally just had to be there. Quite literally one of the worst launches that I have ever seen. And it goes back to, this is one of the biggest beauty influencers that has ever existed. How is it possible for your launch to be that bad? And that's because, and the reason for that is why I feel like, you know, we're here at this. They have announced that they are closing the doors. Jaclyn Hill is one of the most influential beauty influencers that has existed. Jaclyn Hill doesn't want to put in the work to actually be a business owner. And that's not a problem. Like, I get that question all the time, like, oh, you don't want to start, you know, your own business brand. You should do this. You should start selling lashes. You should start selling lip gloss. You should start selling this, that, and the third. And it's like, I get it. I get the idea behind, you know, having something of your own, being your own boss, stuff like that, especially at a time like this. It's a $1 billion industry, all that stuff. I get what people are saying when they say that. But you have to know yourself. And I know myself. I know that it is not easy to own a brand. Anyone can start a brand, but it is not easy to own a brand and run a brand successfully long term, which is why so many, you know, small businesses do not end up doing well. A lot goes into, and most importantly, a lot goes into making sure that you are running a quality brand, not just throwing your name on anything out there just to be able to say that you own a brand, right? Jaclyn hasn't had that conversation with herself. Jaclyn can sit down, she can give you the video, she can give you the tutorial, she can give you the recommendation, she can do all of that. But she has shown you that she has never been in the position where she is really going to make sure that she gives you a quality, and when I say quality, I mean like the product, it's been tested, there's no issues, there's no slip-ups, which, you know, this is also something that you've never done before. So it is okay for a brand to have slip-ups. It's okay for, you know, certain things to slip through the cracks once, twice. You know, iron out the kinks as you are a new business owner. And even if you've been a business owner for 10 years, 20 years, stuff like that, stuff can still happen. But the frequency with which it happens when it comes to her, and not just her own brand, but the collaboration, stuff like that, is simply a lack of care. And that's, I'm saying, you don't have to be a business owner. You like, and I get the idea of wanting to be one, but you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you ready to put in the work that it takes to be one? And the answer is no. And honestly, if you read the, you know, closing announcement that the brand posted, she kind of says it. Like, she kind of admits that I was not in a mental place, stuff like that, to be a business owner, to really, you know, put in my best effort at giving you guys quality products. I think she said something, I'm gonna read it to you guys, but she said something to the effect of like she's at a better place now and like moving forward. So maybe she will decide to, you know, relaunch later on in the future. But she kind of alludes to the fact that, you know, I am not at the place to be running a business. And the thing is, like, she really never was. It never gave that, you know. And this is not towards her specifically, but a lot of people start brands to be able to say that they own a brand, to be able to be their own boss, because kind of like what I say when I talk about people wanting to be content creators, they like the perks of being a content creator, the trips, the, you know, being able to work from home, being able to do this, being able to do that, receiving free products, all that stuff. But they don't actually want to, you know, create the content. They also don't want to, you know, take everything that comes with being a content creator, which also means like putting yourself out there 24/7. It is a job that literally never stops. Just because it is 8 p.m. here in Georgia doesn't mean the person who's watching my TikTok somewhere where it is, you know, noon, that's not going to stop them from asking me and expecting me to answer their comment in the next 5 minutes. And if they don't, suddenly I'm a gatekeeper. You know, there's a lot that comes with it. And a lot of people look at the perks and they want that. So they start doing it so that they can achieve that. But when the reality hits of everything else that comes with it, it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for all this. That's kind of the same thing when it comes to starting a business. A lot of people want it for those perks of being a business owner, of, you know, that type. But when it comes to actually owning a business, it ain't for them. Okay, so the announcement says 2023 has come to an end, and truly it's been a transformational year for me. The joy you're seeing in me is real. However, the road to get here has come with a lot of tough realities and decisions I had to make as well. With that being said, I have decided to close the doors on Jaclyn Cosmetics for a foreseeable future. There's been plenty of talk, but what I will say is the brand has been such an important chapter in my book, and one I will always cherish, but am ready to close. First, I want to thank each and every one of you for the support and love you've shown me and this brand. You let this girl dream, and that's what I did. I still have those dreams, but to properly pursue them, I am going to need time and patience to do so. I also want to thank Ulta for continuing to believe in me, supporting my brand and future endeavors. I don't take that lightly. To make it very clear, I am so excited for the future. I am in the best mental and physical health I've ever been in. I have an unbelievable support system through all of you and my family. I am finally feeling like myself again. I am incredibly grateful to be where I'm at in life, and I can't wait to continue to grow in all aspects of it. Thank you so much, and I wish you and your loved ones a healthy, happy, and blessed 2024, Jaclyn. You see what I'm saying? My camera started to overheat, so I'm not even really sure what the last thing I said was. But that's what I was saying. Like, even in that statement, she kind of tiptoes around saying that, like, I really wasn't in the best place to, you know, be running a brand and giving you the quality that you deserve, stuff like that, blah blah blah. And like, I'm really not trying to be mean, because I don't really have any disdain for Jaclyn Hill, because I never really got into the whole, you know, Jaclyn Hill thing. And if you're wondering why so many people have so much disdain for her, while she is probably one of the biggest influencers that there's been in the beauty community space, and why her influence has still lasted all these years, aside from all of the launches having some type of issues and people like questioning stuff like that, people also question, you know, her authenticity, her honesty when it comes to being someone who is an influencer. Your influence leads other people to spend their money on stuff, and she has been called out a lot of times about not being so honest, not disclosing certain things, stuff like that. So I do understand why there are so many people who, you know, don't really trust her. What I'm saying is, it confuses me on why you keep going back. Like, why it's like, I'll never try something again. I should have learned the first time that I did this, that, and the third. It's like, one time, okay. 2 times, okay. 3, 4, like, here we are. But sometimes the real tea is in the comments. So I read the comments of the you know, announcement that they're closing down the brand. She also did have other brands that she launched that I believe she closed down last year, and it keeps going back to being a business owner was just never in the cards for you, because it was never something that you really wanted to do. It's kind of something that you had to do because of how big your name was, because of how much influence you had. Like, you had to put your name on a product out there. And that happens with celebrities as well. Like, it's not just influencers. I understand why influencers jumped on the whole I have to own a brand, I have to own a brand, because same thing with celebrities. Celebrities will, you know, I have to start doing this brand, I have to start doing that and the third, because my name is Kevin Hart, my name is Beyonce, stuff like this, blah, 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 blah. And you see, sometimes it works out. And I think I've mentioned this before in like downfall videos, especially when it comes to celebrity type brand stuff like that. When the brand makes sense for you to start, those are usually the brands that actually last. When it's giving very much so you just plastered your name on this, those are the ones that need 18,000 different revamps or eventually shut down. So when I was reading the comments, people were like, oh, you're still lying, you're never gonna learn, blah, blah, blah. So getting into the comments, what I saw, what is alleged, because I didn't, like I said, I never really cared that much. So, but what they are saying is that she never owned the company. The company was owned by some company called FOMA. And she was, well, the comments are saying, you know, you were only a consultant. You were only, you know, kind of like with the brand collaborations, you were extending your name, you were extending, you know, options. They were letting you pick colors and pick this type of stuff, blah, 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 but you were never the owner of it. And allegedly, FOMA, the company that owned Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, and it's been speculated before that, oh, it was owned by Morphe, it was owned by this, that, and the third. So if that is true, that also doesn't really surprise me. But allegedly, they filed for bankruptcy. I'm saying allegedly, but also allegedly people pulled up the papers showing all this information. They filed for bankruptcy, so they told her, we'll give you the option to buy us out so that you can actually own the company. If you want to continue running this brand, you can buy us out. It'll be your brand and you can continue running it. And allegedly she said no. Now, if that version is true and, you know, she had the chance to continue owning the brand and she decided to just, you know, kind of like wash her hands with it for the foreseeable future, then that still kind of goes back to what I just said is the main reason that Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics was just, it was never going to take off and stay, like, you know, a brand that stayed, because Mama's literally, she's not a brand owner. She's not the, you know, I'm going to take on the responsibility of owning a brand. Do I think this is a brand that she could bring back and be successful with? Yes, I do. Because Jaclyn Hill's biggest enemy has always been Jaclyn Hill. You had that type of launch with your first product after everything else that has happened with your collaborations. You launched lipsticks that people wanted to start a class action lawsuit over. And you launched other products after that people still bought. Not only did they still, I remember seeing like other little products that she launched go viral and people talk about, oh, I need to try this. And I was like, oh, y'all still buying after everything that just happened? Like, people still bought your products after that first launch. Your brand still got picked up into Sephora. The power has been there. It's always been there and it's still there. We're gonna be completely honest. Jaclyn Hill has been able to maintain her influence not only throughout the years, but across different platforms. Because I've been seeing people talk about her and, you know, watching her reviews and stuff that she recommends, stuff like that on TikTok, which, you know, is the new like platform to be on. So she made it through YouTube, she made it through Instagram, she's making it through TikTok, where people still value what she says. The influence has always been there. The purchase power is still there. Like, even in the comments, the people who are upset saying that, oh, you know, where am I supposed to find lip liners? I love your lip liners. Why would you get me hooked onto a brand? Just take it away from me. She still has that influence to maintain a brand, and a successful one. And from what I've heard after the initial launch, I've heard other people actually like the other stuff that she has come out with. I've even had people say, you know, can you review this from her brand? Can you review that from her brand? I just, you know, after the lipstick, like, I was kind of good on that. I tried, like, I really, you know, I went to the web to click it and I just never did. But like, she still has people that are willing to do that. When I say her biggest enemy is her, it's just, baby, it wasn't that big of criticism for you to fix when it came to people and, you know, the things that they didn't like about you. I'm trying to say this in the best way. You know, oh, being more honest with your affiliate links, being more honest when it comes to, you know, disclosing stuff like that, that is a very easy fix, especially if you have people who are saying, you know, if you're just a little bit more honest, it would make me feel better because I am prepared to purchase what you tell me to purchase. It was a very easy fix for her. The issues that came about with the collaborations, there were very easy ways to, you know, make people feel better about trusting the collaboration and purchasing the collaboration. So when I say like her biggest enemy was herself, moving forward, if she did want to bring this brand back, she has to work on herself. And if you are really ready to be a brand owner who is going to put in the work, who is going to have the humility, who is going to listen to the criticism that you get and work on it, then yes, she really could have a successful brand moving forward. Because like I said, you already have the name, you already have the target audience who is prepared to support you. You already have all of that. It's how you run the brand that's going to make it or end it. And as we see in this, whichever one that it is, whether, you know, it was her brand, it was not her brand, so the other brand is closing because of bankruptcy, stuff like that. And, you know, you having the option to purchase it, but not because I'm telling you, it was never this girl's thing to put in that type of work to be a brand owner. But only time will tell. And she did say that, you know, she's at a better place mentally right now. So, you know, I don't wish the worst for anybody. Hopefully that is true. Hopefully living your best life. And moving forward, she will make that decision if she wants to come back with the brand. Personally, do I think you'll see Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics again? Probably not. Besides the whole, you know, you need to ask yourself, do you really want to be a business owner? You need to consider the times. When she launched that company, that was the time, and not just in the beauty space, but like that was the time. If you want to be a business owner, if you know, have a dream that you believe in, that was the time to really push out there, get it started. And, you know, people were just like flocking to small businesses and everyone wanted to support small businesses and all that stuff. And then COVID came, and then a whole bunch of people couldn't afford to live. And still can't to this day. You know, they can't afford rent, they can't afford groceries, they can't afford this, that, and the third. They're not buying like they were in the past. Brands like big multi-billion-dollar brands are struggling right now. So you also have to think of the times of, does it make sense to, you know, bring a small business back? One, when you already had all the issues that you had, and two, given the times that we are in, makeup is not a necessity. So it's like, do I want to put that investment in, especially when I don't even want to put my own investment of time and, you know, all that type of stuff into it. Inflation, all that type of stuff. And in general, small businesses have very short chances of making it out there. Even the small businesses, the makeup brands that we knew and loved that didn't have all these issues are going out of business now, or having all these issues, you know, stocking and all that stuff. So, you know, financially, she's gonna have to ask herself, does it make sense to bring this brand back? And I just feel like moving forward, it probably won't. But that's just my opinion. I feel like personally, you know, she wouldn't want to, and financially, I'm not sure it would make sense to. But honestly, she doesn't have to. If she continues on just being an influencer, making content on social media, she'll probably do more brand collaborations in the future. She will literally be just fine because she has that type of influence that brings out very strong reactions from the people that are interested in her, that are invested in talking about her, knowing about her, and I mean on both sides. She brings out very strong feelings for the people who do like her, but she also brings out very strong feelings for the people who do not like her, but keep up with what she's doing. Like, even when I was going through the comments on the post about it closing down, like there was someone in the comments who was like, she blocked me because I commented on one of her posts that, oh, if you were on food stamps and you were homeless, why would your family just allow you to be homeless? Do you hear yourself? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, brings very strong, almost irrational feelings out of people. Because does that make sense to you? Like, you wouldn't say that to someone in real life. Someone that you know, you wouldn't say that in real life. But you think you sound normal saying, how dare you block me? Oh, I got under your skin. I did this, then. Like, that has nothing to do with makeup. And why are you still checking? For you to know that she was on food stamps or she was homeless, blah, 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 and here you are in 2023 still commenting on her content. Like, why do you enjoy making yourself unhappy? Because clearly you don't like her. So why do you enjoy putting yourself in a space where you are engaging with someone that you don't like? But there is something about her, and why I'm saying she is one of the most influential beauty influencers to exist. There is something about her that is going to keep drawing people back, good or bad. So whatever she decides to do moving forward, she will most likely continue to be successful because the people are just not going to let her wash away. And the people who really, really do like her, you know, the type of people, you know, it's almost like they would sacrifice their firstborn to defend the people that they see on social media. It's almost the same thing, kind of like, do you wish your friends a happy birthday? You writing a whole dissertation to this stranger who doesn't know you on why they are amazing and you love them. And so that's what I'm saying, almost like an irrational balance on both sides. But she is someone who has achieved that status. She has reached that status where you're never really gonna get rid of her. You know that saying, you can't get rid of me, bitch. She's one of those. Like, she's reached that level where you're never really gonna get rid of her. So I don't think she needs to bring this brand back. She can continue on the way that she's been, and I think that'll be most comfortable for her because, like I said from the very beginning, it's just never given you are a brand owner. I'm not being shady. So yeah, y'all, that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you thought we would be here where it would be closing down, if you thought that this was going to happen a lot sooner, if you think the brand is going to come back, and what you think the brand can do if it wants to come back. Let me know all that in the comments down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah.